Camp Lazlo is a pretty weird show overall. I don't hold this big attachment to it like some out there might, but I do remember watching quite a bit of it when it was on the air. But recently, I revisited some of it and I realized I never saw the ending. I was speaking with a friend of mine, Janiac Jr., who initiated the birth of making this video. But he's not in this video. His channel, however, is linked down below, so please go show him some love. But for today, after refreshing myself with the show for a bit and finally catching the ending, color me shocked. And it was weird. Wow, it's like the title of this video makes sense. Crazy, but we love to see it. Also, welcome back, or hello for the first time, to the 25 Days of Fringemas, where I cover something interesting, nostalgic, or holiday related every day from the 1st of December to the 25th, in order to find that holiday spirit I lost nearly a decade ago. So if you want to be a part of this daily journey and help me find that good old jolly joy, subscribe and come aboard. To brief you about the show, if you aren't too familiar or haven't watched it in quite some time, Camp Lazlo was a Cartoon Network original series that aired from 2005 to 2008. We follow our main character Lazlo, a camper who attends Camp Kidney, who spends his summer here doing camp-related things like earning badges, making friends, and all around getting into some pretty wacky situations. And as you can tell, all of the characters are anthropomorphic animals. The show was created by Joe Murray, an industry veteran who has worked on so many projects, for example, Rocko's Modern Life for Nickelodeon. Keep that in mind for later. But for the finale episode, we focus on the camp's scoutmaster, Lumpus, a character that has literally been here the whole time and has been a major driving force in the majority of the plots, or in general used in episodes for various reasons. But all of that to be assured to you that he, yes, is a main character within Camp Lazlo. So when we finally get to the finale of the show, how was it both shocking and weird? What could this show do to pull a random rug from under your feet and leave you on a note that literally no one could even boast about that they saw coming? There are twists, turns, and a whole lot of what in the ever-loving campfire did I just witness? To start, let's break down the episode and see how it progressively gets weirder and weirder before the credits roll for a final time on this series. The episode was titled Lumpus's Last Stand. We start off with Lumpus setting up to lawn bathe, while all the other campers of Camp Kidney stand around just watching him. They're all shown to be drenched in sweat and stink, as apparently this whole time at camp, they've never had their uniforms washed. Not by choice, but by the laziness of putting off getting them washed by Lumpus, as Slinkman shows him that there is only one day left to wash them. No more time for procrastination here. So like a responsible scoutmaster, Lumpus just eats the proof. So in an effort for him to prove that they don't need to go and get them all cleaned up, he shows them all his air-breathing cleaning technique, which atomically blows up the area. So now they have to go get everything washed anyway. So they quickly take a trip to the laundromat in town. Everyone now back having clean clothes for once this entire summer, things seem pretty good, except for Lumpus, who is traumatized by the cleaning experience. Literally, he has washing fluids pouring out of him. But luckily, Slinkman is there to help him out and show him that, hey, these freshly washed clothes aren't that bad, and this should be an exciting thing to look forward to. But unfortunately, he only has one of his socks, as Slinkman thinks that the other one was lost back at the laundromat. So, being rational about this, he beats Slinkman up all night long. That rational part, yeah, that was a lie. For whatever reason, this whole thing about being cleanly and wearing clothes really bothers Lumpus to a point that he writes a message that he has had it and is running away to go live off the land in the woods. Some may see this as an extreme overreaction, others may see it as personal freedom. That's up to you. As he is finishing his note, he knocks over his ink bottle that falls on his one sockless foot, covering it completely and making it look like if he was wearing his lost sock. This leads to him seeing if it was convincing enough that he was wearing said sock. So later on, he tries showcasing it around to the campers to see if they notice if it's a sock or not. So after foot tenderizing some lunch and noticing that they can't tell the difference, he has a full-on breakthrough with how to never wear clothes again.
Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
So here is where it gets weirder and weirder until the end. His full idea is to completely go, all natural, and paints himself as if he was wearing his Scoutmaster outfit. Prime subs in the chat? Any primers in chat? He goes out into the camp to see if anyone realizes the truth about his painted on clothes. Lazlo notices a difference, but thinks that it's just a new leather outfit. No, Lazlo, that's just his skin. So thinking that there is a new version of the outfit, the campers get interested. Lumpus, for whatever reason, decides that he should now show the campers how he accomplished this and convinces them all to do the same. Yeah, they do just that, now with them picking their own outfits of their choosing to paint on themselves. As this is happening, a motorcycle cop comes by and what seems like would be the worst thing ever happening in front of his eyes, ultimately just wants his own outfit and motorcycle dressed up in paint. Now in love with his new look, is about to head back to town and tell all of his friends about it. Because of this and how information spreads, it becomes a phenomenon, with everyone adopting the look of no clothes and full paint. News articles are written about it, and laundry is now a thing of the past. Don't need clothes, don't need to do laundry, right? At this point, the whole world has adopted this new lifestyle. Why make, buy, wear, or wash clothes if you don't even need them? Now, thanks to everyone having more free time because of the cutout time spent washing clothes, they're all able to accomplish great things, like this time machine, which now has these two characters from the future come out and tell Lumpus how worshipped he is in the future. No one has worn clothes for 1,000 years. So to commemorate Lumpus for his life-changing concept, they brought back a statue of him to set up in his honor. Inside of it are the original 1,000-year-old clothes for the sentiment. These were the last bits of clothes that were ever washed as well. Just, you know, aged 1,000 years. Probably could use another wash after all that time. So now for his acceptance speech for how honored he is, he begins to go mad with power, exclaiming how much of a genius he really is. It really is such a quick turn into these thoughts. I mean, sure, he's full of himself anyway, but it becomes like pure evil here. And this ain't even the craziest part yet. As he continues his self-loving speech, a quick storm rolls in, raining down upon the camp as quickly all of the paint that they were wearing just washes right off, and now everyone once again is all natural. So you're telling me between the moment of the idea and 1,000 years from then, no one happened to be rained on, revealing that their painted on clothes would wash away? No? Alright, sure. The skies clear up and yeah, no one has clothes on anymore, meaning the future has changed. So the statue now morphs back into the pile of clothes that were put inside of it. And now everyone has no clothes to wear, except for these 1,000-year-old stinky clothes that don't really fit on anyone too well either. Now with everyone angry at him, it looks like Lumpus really wasn't a genius. In fact, he's a whole lot of other things too.
Right paddle. Okay, right paddle, right paddle.
So here is the big finale twist. A cop car and ambulance come rolling up to the scene, and out steps a hairless heifer from Rocco's Modern Life. Aged up a good bit, but it's actually him. Not by name, of course, but we'll get to that. He points at Lumpus, saying that that's the bad moose who locked him in a closet all summer long and stole his job as Scoutmaster.
He's an imposter!
The campers are blown away at this revelation as Lumpus admits to it being true. He gets put into a straitjacket and hauled away into the back of the ambulance to take him to some form of jail, or institute, or asylum, or
Funny farm.
yeah, or that, whatever he truly needs. Oh, not before telling Heifer,
I'll get you for this cow.
which he responds,
There!
So being driven away, he yells out one more time that he's a genius, as Lazlo wishes him well and says to the others what a happy ending this was, and that he's pretty pumped about coming back to camp next year. We end the episode with this line here.
It can't get any weirder.
Yeah. You got that right. No, this isn't some well-done fanfic version of the show. This was all real. The fact that this whole time, this whole show, this dude was an imposter pretending to be a Scoutmaster after locking the other one away in a closet. Hey, M. Night Shyamalan, you taking notes here, buddy? Because this is a twist ending for the ages. The fact that this was the show's actual ending legitimately blows my mind, ending the series on not just a weird note, but an uncomfortable one. Nah, beyond that, a pretty dark one. For the show's own terminology, Lumpus was a deranged lunatic, pretending to be a camp scoutmaster with no right to be supervising these campers, and on top of it all, was just well, clothes list with them all. Not a first for the series with Lumpus having no clothes, but I just can't fathom Cartoon Network seeing this turned in and them going, yeah, that seems like a good end to the show. I do, however, like the fact that we get a cameo from Heifer from Rocko's Modern Life, since it's the same creator between both shows. Here, though, without his hair, most likely for likeness reasons to not get in trouble with Nickelodeon. The fact that they don't even call him Heifer. However, once more, there is an alternate ending of the show. Well, unofficial alternate ending, but the YouTube channel Dan Sills actually animated the regular look for Heifer into the scene, which was a really professional looking feat to do. So I linked that video down below so you can go and check it out and show that some love. Originally, Joe wanted Heifer to look like how Dan here animated it for the final bit, but like I said, the networks couldn't let that happen. But it was the original plan to do so. But overall, this ending is one of, if not the most shockingly weirdest ending to anything I've seen in a long time. For sure, at least what we've already covered on the channel. I do enjoy making these videos that explore these shows and how cartoons end, so if you'd like to see more of them, I'm totally up for more. But as far as topping this episode, yeah, good luck! This was such a trip, and it blows my mind that I never watched this finale when it originally came out. To see this version of Heifer show up would have blown my mind back then, amongst all the other stuff that happened. But how do you feel about Camp Lazlo? And more importantly, what do you feel about this strange ending to the series? Please let me know in the comments. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more content like this. Follow me on Twitter, or else I'm canceling camp. I'll see you tomorrow with my final video for Fringemas. You don't want to miss it. Check out the playlist to keep up with everything you've missed this month. But until then, later.